This past Christmas, one of my aunts surprised the whole family with a really special gift. She had CDs made of old cassette tapes that my grandma had recorded years ago. This was how my mom's family, who had moved to Virginia, used to communicate with everyone back in North Carolina. Not everyone could read, and at that time, nobody had the money for long-distance phone calls. Grandma would record herself and Grandpa on one side, talking about the latest news, and then on the other side, she would play the piano and everybody would sing. What you didn't necessarily hear was the voices of the family demons lurking in the room. Demons named depression, anxiety, trauma, and the worst one, addiction. In my family, there were a lot of broken hearts, but there were a lot of gifts too. Those CDs are priceless to me because music is one of the best gifts in my family. My immediate family consisted of my dad, mom, and me. The family demons were alive and well in our household too. But there were happy times being at Grandma's house, which was next door to ours, when my entire extended family crowded into the living room to sing and play music together. Like everyone else, I began playing Grandma's piano when I was young. And in addition to her music, her faith influenced me as well. Although we never openly talked about it, almost every day I ran the short distance to her house to escape the turmoil in mine, desperate for the sanctuary that her piano and her reassuring presence provided. Now, I wish I could say that with my family's musical legacy, my dad's rebellious streak, my mom's fierce protection of me, and my grandma's influence, I developed a strong sense of myself that carried me through. Unfortunately, that was not the case. I stopped playing the piano. I was sad and withdrawn. I felt like God didn't care about me and my problems. There was a darkness inside me that sometimes made it hard to breathe. At home, I had always dealt with things by disappearing. For years, like a piece of furniture in the background, I blended into the scenery. Eventually, my family disintegrated and my parents divorced, and the numbness in which I had been frozen for most of my life melted into a deep depression. For years, I wandered around my life, dragging all of my baggage down all the wrong roads. I was a ghost in my own life. During my teenage years and 20s, I made my own bad decisions, including a suicide attempt. It looked like the family demons might win with me too. But I kept going. I was able to start imagining a different life for myself. I went to therapy. I took medication when I needed help putting one foot in front of the other. I leaned into my faith. I read books. I listened to inspirational CDs. I journaled. I watched Oprah. And I devoured every other resource I could get my hands on to try to get better. I showed up in person for a seminar called Career Decisions for Adult Children of Dysfunctional Families. It was a 6-week course, people. I started to believe that it would all be worthwhile eventually. I gradually learned that it was okay to take up space in the world. I'm still working on that. I found my way back to music, back to God, and after years of blending into the scenery, I found myself on center stage. So the girl who barely said 3 words during her entire childhood, now I was singing solos in front of hundreds of people. Of course, the old voices in my head called me an imposter. Who do you think you are? Those people don't want to listen to you. But one night, while waiting in the wings to step onto the stage for a concert, I suddenly had the sensation that my legs were as strong and firmly planted in the floor as a tree trunk, with roots of life spreading out from me, and a deep sense of belonging flooded through me. Eventually, I realized that despite this battle that was in my head, I was meant to be there. That day was almost 15 years ago now. I've learned that despite everything that happened, I have something to offer other people, and that is ultimately what it's all about. So around that time, I was journaling, And all of a sudden I realized my sentences were rhyming, so I'd like to close with this poem for you. Time to be me. There are so many ways my heart is yearning, I can barely find the ways of discerning all the things that I am learning. My heart is crying out for all the pieces of me to be put back together, but there are so many barriers, it seems. I feel like I've been searching for years. I walk through the streets, I hold back the tears. Behind my pretty smile, I'm dying. I'm sick and tired of all this lying. All I ever wanted was to be set free. I'm taking off the mask. It's time to be me. I'm sick and tired of playing nice. I'm sick and tired of paying the price. I pawned my soul to the lowest bidder. Now I'm buying it back. No deals, no kidding. It's gotten to the point the price is too high. I can't keep living this lie. What everybody else wants me to be. I'm taking off the mask. It's time to be me. God gave me a story only I can tell. He sent me a song. The notes just fell down from heaven to set me free. I won't be ashamed. It's time to be me.